What's it like now having Kevin in there at least temporarily?
No, that's a great question. And so what we did is we used it as a teaching tool for the kids. And so I got before the offense and I told him, Coach Christensen wasn't going to be here. And so what happens when, somebody in a part of the machine is not there? What happens when you lose that? Well, the guys behind them have got to be prepared mentally, ready to take over at any time. And so it was a great teaching tool for all of the guys on offense, the players, to look, hey man, what are we going to do if this guy goes down? What are we going to do if this guy goes down? You look at Ohio State a couple years ago, win the national championship with their third-team quarterback. You got to mentally stay in the game when you're not physically getting reps. So Kevin, he had to jump in there, and he hadn't coached the offensive line. He's been an analyst, and then next thing you know, he's out there doing it. And so, it was a good lesson for all the guys on offense to understand that. And if you noticed, Manny didn't go today. With the first team offense, we did that purposely because of what happened with Dave. I came into the office and I said, look, hey, same thing. Let's see what happens if the starting quarterback goes down. What are we going to do? All right, and so we let those other guys jump in and get the reps. I thought it was a good deal.
Oh, so that you just on the spur of the moment decided that?
Yes, we did that this morning. Coach Herm, yeah.
How did the quarterbacks respond to that?
They did a great job. They did. And I came in the room, told them exactly what we were doing. And you got to always be ready to answer the bell. And I thought they did a good job.
And you rotated your receivers quite a bit today with the ones.
Yes, we did.
What was the thought process behind that?
We didn't want to get at the end of spring practice and somebody say, I didn't get a chance. And so we wanted to get as many people to go with the first team offensive line in those situations. So, nobody has any excuse. Like, oh, well, I was always going with the third team or second team, and we don't have enough time to throw the ball with the second. You know how it goes with that. And so we didn't want to give anybody an excuse.
So specifically about Blake and Dylan, not only today, but just throughout the whole spring, talk specifically about each of them. What have you seen from them as far as development?
Dylan's grasp of the offense, is just, it's night and day. It's night and day. And confidence is everything. When you walk up under center or in the gun and you're a quarterback and you're still thinking about what the play looks like in general, you're in trouble. That thing's like, as soon as you get that play signaled in, boom, you already know what it looks like. Now you're kind of looking around and you're reading defenses. And then now you're at the second level of playing quarterback. If you're still wondering what everybody's doing and right before the snap of the ball, you're in trouble. And I think Dylan was that. That's what he was doing last year a little bit. So I think that his grasp of the offense now, he's much better. So he's way progressed and he's able to set his feet now and understand what he's waiting for and who he's looking at and making better throws. And, Blake, same thing. And the thing that I've seen out of Blake is his leadership skills. He's done a really good job when he's gone with the ones. And just real quick to speak about Manny, his leadership has gone through the roof this spring. It's incredible the jump he's made. And so now when Manny's out, it's we don't have that leader anymore. And that's when, Blake has done a really good job when he comes in trying to be the same type of leader as Manny. So that's where I see him improving most.
Is it quantifiable how much that Herm has influenced Manny's development in that area? Because he talked a lot about just the relationship that a head coach and quarterback need to have.
Yeah, and I think that'd be a good question to ask Manny because I know they have had conversations, but I've noticed a difference.
Yeah,
I've noticed a difference in Manny after he has spent some time with Herm and just the way he handles himself and carries himself every day.
People who have had children, it changes your life a lot. Have you been able to sense anything in Blake that, I'm a father and that's kind of changed his dynamic or his...
Yes, that's a really good question because his kid was out there today and, he is more like, he's more calm, which is, kind of opposite of what you think when you have kids, you're up all night and all that stuff. But football now, I think, is like he has a different perspective on football, Sometimes you let things get way too big than what they really are. It's a game we're playing, And now that he's got that kid at home, he understands, you know, making a mistake may not be the end of the world now, you know, like throwing a bad ball. And so it doesn't carry over to the next play where, you know, last year I saw Blake would, maybe if he threw a bad pass, and, you know, it would carry over to 3 more plays. And now he's able to flush it and go on to the next play.
How many receivers would you like to have in a rotation in game week?
If you're an 11 personnel team, 6. If you're a 10 personnel team, 8. So 6.
And
mostly.
Right. And how much do you think that you'll be under center this year? Do you have any idea of that at this point?
Yeah. You know, we're working a lot under center, a lot, you know. And so, you know, I think a lot of it's going to be game plan. So it's kind of hard to, it's kind of like asking the question, how much are we going to run it to throw it, you know, and it's, you know, you have an idea in your mind, but ultimately it depends on what you're seeing that day on Saturday and how the kids are responding.
We're going to install the triple option too, right?
Who was that? Who said that?
He likes it. And what about?
Are you let anybody in here? What's going on, man?
I've lost control.
And what about huddling? Because I know in practice you guys are huddling quite a bit in between plays. Will everything come from the sideline, or how will that all work?
You know, that's one of the things I could say that I learned from Herm that I had forgotten about in football. When you get in these no huddle, signal from the sideline, tempo, you know what you lose in football, what we've lost in football is the leadership of the quarterback. And I kind of have, like, through Herm, I've kind of found that again, the importance of getting in a huddle and that quarterback looking at everybody in the eye and say, boys, all right, here we go. We're going to do this right now. This play is going to work. All right, we're going to go. Blah, 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 blah. Ready, break. And he's looking at everybody in the eye. And there's just a sense of confidence. I really have felt that the offensive line really like that. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to be a huddle team, but we will huddle at times for sure, because I really have kind of refound that element again in football through Herm, and I really like it.
I have one more question about Kevin. The fact that he's been here watching and observing, and also just his own background. Did you, from what you could tell today, did he just jump in, and was he?
Oh yeah, he was very comfortable. Yeah, he's been at some big time places. He's played big time ball, and no, he seemed extremely comfortable. Although I can't speak to, you know, watching him, because I was, you know, my mind was everywhere else, but watching him, you know, in practice. But I just could tell the kids, you know, it was very comfortable transition. Oh.
How nice is it in your first year as offensive coordinator to have a guy like Manny in there?
Oh gosh, it's huge. It's huge, and you know, I'm just getting paid back from my first year at Kansas when I started a true freshman quarterback. So everything comes around in life, man. You know, so so no, and Manny has just embraced this offense. My fingerprint or whatever on the offense, he's embraced it, and he's helped me, and we have great communication between each other.